Hey everyone, this is John from EastCoastArmory.com and I'm here today with a new product announcement video for the 1/6 scale Jagdtiger MG42 AA mounts. These items here are all listed on the King Tiger catalog page, which is found on the EastCoastArmory.com website, and of course the link can be found in the video description listed below. These items here were all designed by request, and as I often mention in these videos, if you are working on a project in various scales and you do not see what you're looking for on the EastCoastArmory.com catalog, don't be afraid to reach out via an email, because most of the times I'll go ahead and design the component and list it on the catalog for general release. If you're interested in something like that, feel free to contact me via the email address listed below, which is info@EastCoastArmory.com. Switching over from American to German parts takes us to the first set that we have here, which is the new ECA 1/6 scale Jagdtiger rear engine deck MG42 AA Mount Set. The set itself is going to be offered in a few different configurations. However, this here is the first pattern that you can see in front of you. For those who don't know, the Jagdtiger has a very distinctive AA mount mounted on the rear engine deck, sometimes also mounted on the rear engine hatch, and this is where the MG42 can be mounted in a anti-aircraft role in order to protect the vehicle. It's also one of the few times on a German tank where the MG42 is utilized for AA purposes as opposed to the MG34T. A quick little factoid for you. So the set that we have here is the standalone set, i.e. this is the version that does not have any sort of other equipment to it, being the engine hatch. The idea for this set is that you can either mount this on the engine hatch of your King Tiger of one flavor or another, let me rephrase that, on your Jagdtiger of one flavor or another, or you can also mount this on the rear engine deck area, as again, not all Jagdtigers had this mounted on the engine hatch. It kind of differs from the different versions of the Jagdtiger that were produced, but that's a topic for another video for another day. Back to the set that we have here. This consists of the following components. We have here the base plate, the actual main pedestal base itself, as well as a elevating mount and a MG42 yoke and adapter. Also included with the set is a piece of wire in order to hinge the yoke to the adapter and get it pivoting and also fit it in place. Something else that's also included with the set, but for some reason is absent on this one over here, is a travel lock, which actually would hinge into this little hole over here and would connect to the pistol grip area and cradle the pistol grip area of the MG42. But that's something I'm going to be discussing in a future video. While I was designing the set, I had some excellent and fantastic reference photographs, and I was able to mirror as much of those details as possible onto the set that we have presently, and that is why we have it in the configuration that you see here on the table, being a multi-piece assembly. Some people out there will watch some of my other gun mounts and say, well, John, how come those are a single printing while this one here you rendered it in 3 pieces? Well, just with the nature of those pieces, they tend to have been just a single constructed piece, while in this one here it actually had some extra functionality to it that I did bring into the set, and we'll be going over that in a second. So starting with the main base plate, this version that we have here is the unit that does not have any fasteners in place, nor does it have any weld beads sculpted. Like I mentioned before, depending on the type of Jagdtiger that you're working on, sometimes these would have fasteners in these locations and sometimes they would have welds. It just depends on the Jagdtiger that you're building, because again, this differed from vehicle to vehicle. However, the customer who requested me to design these parts wanted this piece here in the following format. However, on the catalog, there will be the other options that will be available. So starting with this one over here, you can see how the holes are already pre-printed into these locations, and we also have the washers found in these areas as well. Even though there's no fasteners found in place, the washers would still be found on the plate as if they were kind of milled in, but this just was from the one example I was using as reference. Also, you can see the construction. This thing would have been all plate construction, which means all these pieces would have been welded together, and the weld beads have indeed been integrally printed on. Hopefully it comes out on camera. But once the unit is painted and weathered, all these details should definitely come out to light. And again, it saves the builder some time in having to sculpt all these things. On the inner portion over here, we have this very distinctive shape where we have this outer ring, the sunken area, as well as this plummet section right here in the middle. And this is just for mounting on the base plate. As you can see on the base plate itself, it has a mirror image, essentially, of what we have here. One thing that's also a little tiny bit of minutia is that if you look on the top portion here, hopefully it comes out on camera, but you can see these little notches that are found in this area. If I was to take a guess, I believe that on the real unit, this thing was actually adjustable, and you had a number or a certain number of ways you can actually lock this thing in place, and it kind of just fits into one of these little grooves that we have here on the plate. On the bottom area, we do have a corresponding plug section, as well as those two areas that I just referenced, and there is a very small and faint little tick mark found printed in this section, and that is so that you can just line it up and correctly index it like you would on the real one. On the top portion here, you get to see the construction. Again, everything is integrally welded, so all the weld beads are present on all these areas. And one thing that's very iconic about the AA mount on the Jagdtiger specifically is how we have these supports that are found in this section. If we compare that with like an American pedestal base, where we have angle pieces of steel, the Germans did things a little bit differently and just went with bent rod type construction in these areas, and everything will be welded. And all these details are carried over onto the ECA counterpart. Moving topward takes us to this little blade. This is very similar to what we see on the American pedestal bases, and this, just like on the American one, is actually used to hold a travel lock, which sadly I don't have here on the table, but the production units will of course be supplied with those, and that would hinge into the section here and be held in place with a fastener. On the reverse side is where things get quite interesting. So the reason why I rendered this in a multi-piece assembly is because on the real unit, the piece had some more adjustability to it compared to, say, like the American pedestal base, where it's a one-size-fits-most. On the German one, it actually has a feel and a design similar to like a umbrella, like a outdoor umbrella type setup, where we have a crank mechanism, a gear mechanism, and the whole thing can actually elevate up and down. And it's actually pretty interesting to design. So let's go ahead and go into the fine minutiae here, because there's a lot to talk about. So we have these two little braces that would be welded to the tube itself. And this would house a gear right here in the center. The gear is connected to this lever, and then this knob is on the end. This is how you actually crank the thing either up and down to get the right height for your needs. What's also interesting to point out is this ratchet mechanism right over here, where it would be spring-bound on the real one, and when you would move this thing up or down, it would actually go click, 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 just like something you would see on a winch, or, again, like I stated before, an outdoor patio umbrella. And I guess to go in the reverse direction, you would take this little tab, pull it downward, release the spring tension, and you can actually go either up or down with it in a quicker motion. There's this other little mechanism up here. I have no idea what it's for, but it's on the real one, so ergo it's going to be on this one. Also, back to the spring mechanism, it's on this very distinctive stamped sheet metal type plate, and again, all these details are brought into the ECA counterpart. On the reverse side, we have here a clasp mechanism, and this is something that is very similar in design to the German World War II tank, or specifically the Tiger I style of command antenna. If anyone's seen those other videos I've done for the 116s, you'll know that there's this type of mechanism where it's a clamp, and it would actually clamp in place a external radio when the vehicle is being used as a static command type system. And the design here is basically identical, where we have the structure like you see, and then it is split in half, and then there is a large lever that would be used to tighten or loosen, and that would basically clamp the center tube structure in place. Also, you notice that the unit is a key and groove type system right over here. And that brings us directly to the stem. So the stem, as you can see, is a separate printing, and this was done so that the real unit is adjustable. However, obviously the gear mechanism is static on this unit here. Yes, I'm a slacker, I know, but anyway, at least we have the gear detailing found on the proper locations. So the stem itself is quite long, and we have this gear located in this section, and now you can see why it has that key and groove type setup. On the top portion over here has this taper to it, and then we have this socket, and this is just your standard German World War II MG34 or MG42 socket adapter. It's a bit different compared to how the Americans did it, but if you ever seen a Lafette mount or any other type of German AA mounts, they tend to have the exact same type of setup. The piece is hollow and has this little groove down in the section over here, and that is so that this lock pin here, once tightened in place, will retain it and allow the piece to rotate fully. As for this guy here, he does slide in place. It's a bit snug, so you might want to do this before you paint it, or perhaps you could even go ahead and adjust the height and snip away the portion of the rod that you don't desire. Whichever way works best for you, that's something that you can easily do. The tolerances are quite snug, which is good because you don't want the thing to wobble on you. And if I go ahead and squeeze the piece in, I think there might be some air trapped in this side. I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom of this one over here, so it could go ahead and slide in just a little bit easier, I think. But anyway, that's how this setup would work. On the top portion, we have the MG mount, and if anyone says this looks familiar, that's right, it does, because I actually designed this a number of builds ago, or recommendations ago, for a standard MG34, and the MG42 and MG34 mounts are basically identical. There were some different variations here or there, but this piece itself was the same. The difference though between the 34 and the 42 was with the yoke setup. As for the units, the same CAD file, so it has all the same detailing with the correct stamped sheet metal geometry, the fasteners, and also the welds that are found here on the bottom portion. Hopefully that comes out on camera, where we have a couple rings there of weld bead. The piece is printed hollow, as you can see, and just slides directly into place, just like so. Back to the MG34 adapter. So the MG34 had a half circle type setup, and if anyone was thinking too about the 34, it would clip into a certain spot, rotate, and snap in place. Well, the 42 was a little different, where we had this little spring latch system, and it clips into a embossed sheet metal mount that was actually pressed into the jacket section of the 42. On the unit over here, I made it as close as possible, so it has the detailing. However, the piece is designed to work with a Dragon MG42. And if anyone knows a thing too about the Dragon sets, there are these two slots that are molded into the jacket, and that's where these two guys come in handy. You just add a little drop of glue, and the MG42 literally plugs in place, and it gives you the appropriate detailing, but also makes for a strong mounting platform. In order to hinge it all together, we have a little section of floor wire over here. Just goes right through the two sections, and you're good to go. And this brings us to the next set that is in the Jagdtiger MG mount range, and this here is the special one that I was referencing before. This here is the ECA 3D printed replacement Jagdtiger engine hatch set. This here is basically the full kit and caboodle, and if you don't want to mess around with trying to get this thing glued in place in the proper spot, and you just want to replace the engine hatch entirely with a better one, this set here is your go-to. The set that you have here is mostly complete, however, it is missing one thing that is included with the set, which is the matching hinges, which are for the actual rear deck. As for why they're not present on this example over here, well, that's because I am going to be building this as a standalone piece just for a display in my collection, and so the extra hinges aren't necessary. However, the actual production sets will have those. So what we have here are the same detail components that I just referenced, i.e. the main pedestal base with all those details on it, the geared stem, as well as the MG42 mount. However, the difference obviously is with the engine hatch. So rather than the standalone plate, you have the plate integrally printed onto the ECA King Tiger engine hatch. And if anyone has ever seen my 1/6 scale King Tiger Armortech build video, you'll know that for that project I designed a replacement engine hatch, which is essentially it is exactly the same set that we have here. I just went ahead and built in the MG mount. So the ECA engine hatch was noteworthy because it was an entire single printing. This means everything that you see here is printed on. No extra detailing needs to be added by the builder, no sub-assemblies, nothing, none of that stuff. It's all good to go from opening up the bag. And this includes not just the exterior, but the interior as well. So we have the inner frame section, we have the well beads that are all present, we have the sunk-in sections for the air intakes. The air intakes have the cutouts present, we have the top sections, again, all there. It even has the rubber gasket section integrally printed on. It has the appropriate geometry here with these scallop sections. The hinges are integrally printed on as well with the well beads, the hatch stops, the mounting flush fasteners. We have the handlebar, again, pre-welded, and we also have the pry bar holster that is pre-welded as well. On the top portion of the air intake, we have the fastener cover cap, and that has been spot welded in the appropriate location. And if anyone knows a thing or two about this, that's because on the real one, this is a separate part that when it's being built at the factory, they go ahead and mount it in the location via fastener, and then they weld it up just like you see here. And that's why we have that inner stem that's present on the inside. However, that's just for the standard EC8 King Tiger hatch. To make it the Jagdtiger hatch, it has the other unit integrally printed on. And here you get to see what it looks like in this format. So it is the same exact CAD file that went to this one over here, only in this one here we have the fasteners integrally printed on. As for how the piece connects, well, it just drops in just like so. And now once you glue the piece in place, you have your rear engine hatch mounted AA pedestal base mount. As I mentioned before, the parts that we have here are going to be the subject matter of its very own model showcase video, where I'm going to be building this thing and completing it and pairing it with a MG42. So if that's something that you are interested in checking out, definitely subscribe to the channel and hang around, because that video is going to make its debut shortly after this one here gets posted. And with that, that wraps up this new product announcement video for the 1/6 scale EastCoastArmory.com Jagdtiger MG42 AA mount. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to this channel, where it's a great way to keep up to date on new posted content, being new product announcement videos like this one over here, or the other type of content being small scale model showcase video and 1/6 scale project update videos when they get posted. Another way to keep in the loop of new posted content is by liking us on Facebook, where I have more photographs of all these components, as well as the smaller and larger scale builds that have been seen on the channel in the past. Furthermore, don't forget to swing by EastCoastArmory.com for more 1/6 and 1/16 scale builds and detailed components. Thanks again. I'll be catching you all again on the next one. See you there.